Good day, Clippers! Weekend is approaching again, and for us, it means another round of trending clips. So, fasten your seatbelt and we'll speed up to the highlights of this week. But before we go on, like and follow us first on our social media sites. You can also subscribe on our YouTube channel. What are we waiting for? Let's begin our weekly recap. While President Rodrigo Duterte's relationship with China has always been a topic of controversies, his recent trip to the said country was occupied with a good news. Last week, the Philippine Information Agency, or PIA, announced that the president was able to secure Chinese investments that worth more than $9 billion. Aside from these investments, the president also received grants from the Chinese government. Moreover, his negotiations with the Chinese government's labor agency opened employment opportunities for Filipino teachers. Because of the supposed outpouring of aid from China, the Philippine government is now working on plans to construct hospitals in Basilan and Jolo. Asked about the much contested issues surrounding the West Philippine Sea, the president admitted that the Philippines cannot challenge China's claims yet. The Philippines, according to Duterte, lacks the necessary military might to assert its sovereignty over the West Philippine Sea. The previous news was a mixture of politics and business. Let's see what this one is all about. According to a report from the Philippine Daily Inquirer, the Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, is raising the standards for aspiring telecommunications firm in the Philippines. We can recall that the Philippine government is encouraging telecommunications firm to locate in the Philippines. This opening of gates to a new telco seeks to break the monopoly of the country's two telco giants. So, to ensure that the third telco will provide good service to Filipinos, the DICT set stricter rules for aspirants. What are these stricter rules and higher standards? The DICT said that those aspiring telcos must have a high financial capability needed to compete with the Philippines' dominant telcos. Also, they must not have any liabilities with the NTC or National Telecommunications Commission. Lastly, these aspiring telcos must have at least 5 years of experience in the communications industry. This one is a good news for commuters. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, accredited the operations of High Transport Systems Incorporated, which means Grab will finally have a competitor. Recently, Uber decided to merge with Grab, which gave the latter dominance over the ride-hailing industry. Due to this merger deal, Grab allegedly raised its fare, prompting commuters to air their complaints on social media sites. Now, Grab's happy days might come to an end with the entry of Hype. LTFRB is set to accredit more transport service providers like Hirna, Golag, MyCab, and Auto. Some of these transport network companies are owned by Filipinos and are a lot more different than Uber and Grab. MyCab, for example, differs from Uber and Grab since it connects passengers to taxis and not to private vehicles. Metro Manila might be the 9th fastest growing city in the Asia-Pacific region, according to a report from the United Kingdom. A popular news outlet in the Philippines released the contents of the report entitled Asia-Pacific Cities and Regions Outlook. The said report put Manila among Asia's growing cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Ho Chi Minh, Delhi, Mumbai, and Kolkata. Metro Manila was branded as a fast-growing city because of its burgeoning gross domestic product, or GDP. The Asia-Pacific Cities and Regions Outlook projected an annual GDP growth of 6.4% for Metro Manila. If this means better life for Manileños, then it's really a good news. Here we come to the last story of the week. The Philippine government is creating safeguards so its Build program can be free of corruption. According to Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez, the government is taking at least 3 steps to ensure a corruption-free infrastructure project. 1. All China-funded contractors must be endorsed by the Chinese government. 2. The government will ensure the strict implementation of the project's phases. 3. All stakeholders must perform a thorough and careful project preparation. It can be recalled that President Duterte himself branded his own administration as the Philippines' golden age of infrastructure. Well, if it is meant to be the renaissance of infrastructure in the Philippines, it must really be corruption-free. Sorry to cut you short, but our weekly recap ends here. Follow us on our social media sites, subscribe on our YouTube channel, and be the first to know the latest news in Asia and the Philippines. We'll meet again next week for another round of Trending Clips.